We all know how smartphone cameras have been improving in the recent years, challenging DSLR and mirrorless traditional cameras in the race for the best image and video quality possible, implementing 4K, HDR, more megapixels, stabilization, and more portability. Today I am gonna compare the iPhone 13 versus a DSLR camera. In this comparison I will be using this Nikon camera. First off, the price of this iPhone in the base model is $699, and in the other hand the Nikon camera is discontinued, but you can buy it on Amazon. The link to that is on the description below, or also on the second-hand market. On platforms like Facebook or eBay you can find it around $250. The iPhone has a sensor of 1 inch with 12 megapixels, the same as the Sony CV1. This sensor is very limited due to its size of a finger, while the Nikon has an APS-C sensor with 24.2 megapixels. This is the same size and megapixels as the new cameras nowadays. For example, beginner cameras like the CBE10, the Canon M50 or the Sony A6400. The larger sensor size of an APS-C sensor allows better light gathering capabilities and improved image quality, especially in the low light conditions. As the resolution and frame rate video capabilities, the iPhone can record up to 4K at 60 frames per second. It has a cinematic mode that can go to 1080p at 30 frames per second, a slow motion video support that can go up to 1080p at 240 frames per second, and support for HAVC and H.264 video codecs. The Nikon camera, in the other hand, can record up to 1080p at 50 frames per second, and it doesn't record any 4K or any slow motion by itself. As the lenses of both devices, the iPhone has a wide-angle lens of 1.6 aperture, an ultra-wide lens with f2.4 aperture, and a very wide field of view. In the other hand, the Nikon camera has the capability to change to different lenses. In my case, I have two lenses. The first, a key lens from Nikon of 18 to 55 mm, of f3.5 to f5.6. These are the lenses that come with the camera body. And second, the classic 15 mm f1.8, a lens that I bought to try the low aperture for the first time. The iPhone 13 has a continuous autofocus. It's been getting so much better over the years that it's gotten to the point where now nothing is ever out of focus. So now you don't have to be worried about being blurry or out of focus or out of the frame ever again. In the other hand, the Nikon has a permanent autofocus, one that I recently discovered, but it doesn't compare in any means, though it's very slow and not that responsive as the iPhone. Anyway, I want to make a clarification. Today, almost all, if not all, mirrorless cameras have a good and excellent autofocus, like Sony or Canon, or recently Nikon also. In terms of stabilization, the iPhone 13 has an optical image stabilization that compensates the small hand movements and vibrations, resulting in sharper images and smoother videos, especially in low light conditions or in lower shutter speeds. The optical image stabilization makes the iPhone footage like it should on a gimbal. It's crazy. While the Nikon camera doesn't have any type of stabilization. But this model in particular has what is called a VR, that means vibration reduction, that in the practice in the day-to-day usage don't work that well. The result in motion or holding it by hand is always very unstable and shaky footage. In terms of the battery life, the iPhone 13 can be charged via Lightning port or MagSafe, and it can long up to 8 hours of use and can record indefinitely until filled the storage, while the Nikon have replaceable batteries that charges with this dedicated module that plug to the wall, and each battery can last around 50 to 90 minutes, depending on which resolution and frame rate you are shooting, and it can record only around 10 to 20 minutes. In conclusion, I think that each one has its own advantages. The Nikon camera is better in all aspects on photography, and on video is better in color and dynamic range due to its larger sensor and more number of megapixels, while the iPhone 13 is much better on portability, video resolution and frame rate due to its size of the screen and the 4K capabilities. For someone who is looking for a camera to start in photography and videography, I recommend the traditional camera. Right now, the DSLR camera market is dead. Due to the all-new mirrorless cameras, I recommend models like the CB-E10 or the new Canon R10 instead of this Nikon camera, because this camera is like 9 years old since its release. But for the people that is looking for a good, reliable and portable camera to carry in their pockets to capture memories of anything, I recommend the iPhone 13. That's it. Subscribe and see you in the next one. Bye bye.